What's up guys, I'm Random Frank P, back with an episode of Cool Tech under $100 for this month. And don't worry, we're still gonna have Cool Tech under 50 coming up for July, so stay tuned for that. This is a series where we show off some of the best tech you can buy under that price point. See anything you like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. But first up is gonna be one of the sleekest, thinnest monitors I've seen. This is a 22-inch from AOC. And since it comes in at just $100, I figured it would be a good pickup for someone who might have, a really old monitor for your setup. You don't have a lot of space maybe. This could definitely be a good option at the price if you're looking to upgrade. The panel itself is full HD, so it's 1920 by 1080. It's an IPS 75Hz refresh rate panel. It does have FreeSync built in, but as for the picture itself, everything looks really nice, the colors are great, the screen itself is matte to cut down on reflections, and since you have that 1920 by 1080p resolution packed into a smaller size at 22 inches, the pixel density looks very good. But the thing that caught my eye was just how thin it is and the lack of bezels. They call it frameless pretty much, and you can see for yourself that stands true. On the back side, on the actual stand, is where you have your inputs. It's your HDMI, your power, VGA, and an audio jack. And the reason for this being on the stand is because obviously you can't plug in anything to the monitor. That also does mean that you can't wall mount this because again, you can't physically put anything into the back of the monitor because it's so thin. So take that for what you will. I think this is gonna be a really good option for somebody who wants to maybe get 2 or 3 of these. Line these up so you have that really cool display without pretty much any bezels in between, or maybe a good portable LAN monitor. So figured I'd show this off for those needing the upgrade. Again, a nice 22-inch from AOC. If you want to spend just $20 more for the 24-inch, you can pick up the bigger model as well. Next up, for photographers and videographers out there, you might be interested in this RGB Light Wand. As you can see, very thin, lightweight overall, but since it has the RGB capabilities, you have full control to switch up the colors on the fly and really dial this in to give some unique shots in your videos or photos. And it's actually what I use in the background of my overhead B-roll to give some nice, sort of a background glow, which you can see reflecting off my hands or the product. At only $75, it is a great solution versus something like those $1,000 Quasar RGB light tubes that some people have. So on the back of the light wand itself, you have your digital screen and all the controls from powering it on, adjusting the brightness, adjusting the RGB color rating to the 3200 to 5500 Kelvin rating, as well as checking your battery percentage. I though have this powered with a DC 12 volt input, so I don't have to worry about it dying when I'm using it in the studio. But you can use this wireless if you want to pick up a battery for it. There is also an app if you want to use this over Bluetooth to connect to your phone and change up everything on the fly, but I have no problem using the dials on the back. Now, as you can see, there is this nice sort of frosted shell covering all the LEDs to help diffuse the color and give it a more softer kind of glow or a softer shadow on your subjects, depending on whatever color you choose to use. I'm just a big fan of the versatility here, having all the RGB colors right at your fingertips. Gonna give a nice variety to lighting some shots, again, for whether you're into photography, videography, or if you just want to add a light tube like this to your setup to kind of spice it up a bit. Like I said, it's definitely a cheaper alternative, even looking at like RGB light bulbs out there from some bigger companies. At $75, this is a great pickup if you need something like this. Next up is a mouse for all you PC gamers out there. This is the Razer Basilisk. It's in the new Mercury White edition, and I'll admit, I definitely slept on this mouse when it came out. Pretty much just overlooked it, and I've been using it a lot lately. Taking a look at it, I think it definitely looks nice in this Mercury color, although you can get it in the regular black version if you want. You have 8 physical buttons which you can change up, including this kind of hyper shift paddle, which sits nicely right at your thumb. You can use this to quickly lower your DPI real quick, like a sniper button, or just have it for certain, other functions or macros and stuff. But where it starts to get interesting is under the mouse. For the sensor, it uses a 16,000 optical sensor. You can see underneath it has a profile switching button, but on the top you'll see a little resistance dial. This actually controls the resistance of the scroll wheel. And being able to change the resistance just gives you, that extra level of customization to, tailor that to whatever game or program you're using. So you can increase the resistance to have it those real, fine, slower steps where it is harder to scroll, or change it down so there's practically no resistance and it's in turn buttery smooth. So I'll do a sound test now so you could hear that. Definitely a nice addition to add this to a gaming mouse. Of course, it also has, the RGB lighting, all that stuff. You go into the software, switch it up, change up what all the buttons do, calibrate it to your mouse pad. You get the idea with the software. I've just been really impressed with it. I've been using it ever since I did that unboxing video and I absolutely love it. I feel bad for not paying attention to this mouse earlier because it is a really great mouse for only $75. And if you also just want the black version and not the Mercury version, you can get it for only $50. Next is a brand new smart home gadget from Amazon, the Echo Show 5. I've showed off the Echo Dot, the Echo Spot, and now you have the older brother, which is now the smaller version of the 10-inch Show, so we have the Show 5. This could be just a really great pickup for, say, adding it to your desk setup, maybe in your bedroom on the nightstand, or in the kitchen, which is where I'm gonna have it. Taking a look, it still follows that, familiar design language. You can get it in black or white. I have it in a white here with that kind of gray sandstone kind of mesh fabric on the back for the speaker. And up top you have all your controls for increasing or muting the volume, manually toggling ALEXA, and you'll notice on the right there's a switch to cover the webcam. For users, this has always been a huge concern when it comes to privacy because they don't want, Amazon spying on you. But now I think it's really good that they included that sort of, built-in cover. So it's nice that they added that. So the 5-inch display literally gives you a nice little kind of tablet, essentially, wherever you put this. It is touchscreen, so you can use it to navigate everything, or obviously just use the voice commands. What I've always loved about these Echo products is the fact that it has all of the, built-in stuff with Alexa when it comes to adding skills. Using the Amazon Music or their video service, you could even watch movies on this if you want, play Spotify. And even integrate it with a lot of your smart home stuff. So you can use it to control your lights if you have smart home lights. I know for me, we use this with our Nest doorbell, so we can quickly check who's at the front door if someone rings. Pull up some recipes even in the kitchen, all that stuff. And the home screen is customizable. You can go in and change up what the face of this clock is. There are tons of built-in themes and pictures you can pick between. You can customize them even from the color, where the watch face is, how the clock looks, where the weather is. Pretty much everything here is customizable. So I'm personally a sucker for this kind of stuff. When I saw they were releasing a smaller 5-inch version, I knew I wanted to replace the Echo Dot we had in our kitchen with this, and I liked it so much I figured I could just add it to this under 100 series because it comes in at only $90. So if you're also a fan of these smart home gadgets and you're kind of into that whole Amazon ecosystem, it could be a great pickup for you as well. Then last but not least is something very unique that has completely blown me away. These are called WereBuds. They are essentially AirPods that go into a watch, and these sound incredible. So these are currently being kickstarted, and you can get them for $100, which is an absolute steal. As you can see, the individual earbuds are kept into the side of this sort of smartwatch. It's definitely satisfying to just snap them into place so you don't lose them, and when you want them, pop them back out. It looks pretty futuristic. I will admit the watch itself is kind of on the bulkier side, but again, it has to store these in there, so that's understandable, and it has all the fitness and activity tracking built in. And the watch itself also has tons of different interfaces for tracking your calories, your steps, your heart rate, all that kind of stuff built in, which is really cool. Now this is more so marketed as like a fitness watch, so great for people who are avid joggers and stuff like that, or constantly working out, because you have all the information tracked on the watch for you. But just the earbuds themselves sound really good, that I don't even care about all the fitness and activity stuff. Sure, that's a great bonus, but these sound, not even exaggerating, 10 times better than my AirPods. And when I first hooked them up and got them in my ears, that sounds stupid, but blown away. It is just, they're so much more full. They're louder, the clarity is so much better. These sound really good for the price. The WereBuds themselves are also touch sensitive, so you can just tap the side of your earbud and do things like skip songs, pause your music, go back a track. So having that functionality is definitely useful. So I know on Kickstarter you can get it in a few different colors, obviously have it in the white and silver finish here, but I'm just really impressed with the execution. It makes sense to have them lock into place like this, it just snaps right in so you don't lose them. Also great for when you're out working out or jogging and stuff. But just the biggest takeaway was the sound quality. They're tiny, but they pack a punch, and they sound so much better than I was expecting. All for just $100, which still just blows AirPods out of the water. Definitely happy I can get my hands on these to show them off for you guys. Alright guys, so that'll wrap it up for this episode of Cool Tech under $100. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, everything I showed off we listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. And yes, Cool Tech under 50 for July is still coming up in just a week or so. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good day.